There is this excitement that comes with me whenever I'm reviewing the CRACKLOCK Saga book series. Yeah, I always feel treat whenever I have another book in the CRACKLOCK Saga that I'm yet to catch up with. And just as what I'm reviewing today goes with, the most recently released series in the CRACKLOCK Saga book series titled The Coin of the Realm by C.A. Deegan, and whose writing I've been following for many years now. If you've been watching my channel before now, you must have seen that I'm a huge fan of Craig Deegan's writing, and I have a whole bunch of books here that I've read in time past. So, if this sounds a bit new to you, you may want to check up the old series from the book one to the book two, the book three to the book four to the book five, which I'm currently reviewing, and the other standalone in the series. So, the entire story of Jack Cracklock, of David Cracklock, of the Cracklock family, of Fairy, of several other characters that we have in the book, started right from the first book that I have here, titled Far or Four. This is where the entire saga started from. And from the first book, Fan 4, we have the other ones that I have here too, which is The Lost and the Departed. This is very wholesome to while I read it. I've read all of them and they look quite beautiful to me. Very interesting books. Then I have the third one in the name of Alice and the Mirror Glass. I heard a bit about Harlix too in this kind of the realm, together with that of her father, Nate, which I'm looking forward to exploring. So following on from the story of Alex and the Mirror Glass, we have Dear Sorrows that happens to be my most admirable series thus far, and the entire Cracklock Saga book series, which I love wholeheartedly. I mean, the whole drama from the Coin of the Realm started from here, started from the craziness of the deer emanating from Safia's manor. So following on this, it's what I have currently today that I'm reviewing, A Coin of the Realm, that I love too heartedly. And aside this book series, we have other standalone in the series, focused on the name of Dorcas, an amazing character, and Brony. Then we have the tale of Natalia Cracklock, very awesome as well. So I was quite excited to pick up the kind of the rep. Whenever I'm reviewing book by C.A. Deegan, whenever I'm reading any series at all in the Cracklock Saga book series, I always feel excited, I always feel captivated, I always feel happy that yeah, I'm gonna catch up with this and see how the stories continue. And I, for one, cannot wait to see how this particular series is continued or ends and Deceiver's End, which I'm eagerly looking forward to it. So before I proceed, I'd love to read to you the synopsis at the back page of The Coin of the Realm. Seek, and ye shall find. The deer seek its hoarders, its insidious reach stretching across the globe. When it finds them, the realms are doomed. Jack asks to stop it. The coins in it, lost to millennia, and only fools, both old and new, can help him find stolen friends and ancient magics. It is a terrible race, and it's indeed a very terrible, awkward, and frustrating, I'd say, race, really. Then it goes on saying, pardon me, I added my Jack and his friends, after winning it, they really have to. So that's what you're looking forward to exploring in the Coin of the Realm. That's what you're looking forward to finding out more in the Con of the Realm. Previously in my review, I mentioned the plague of the deer, and the deer to me can be likened as more like a disease or an epidemic, more like the coronavirus killing people. So the deer broke out in fairy, broke out among the human, and it's spreading fast, like bushfire in Amatan. The whole thing started here in the book 4 at Sephias Manor, where this black smoke will come beckoning people, can be it is wonderful in the day. And whoever it catch get engulfed with smoke, and all of a sudden their memory kind of look a bit to be wiped up to me, or they are not in their right senses, their eyes start turning black, and all of these things keep capturing people. First of all, the story of the cracklock was coming in an amazing, in an wholesome manner, whereby you can recognize the protagonist from the antagonist. When I was reading the Dear Sorrow, or starting from the first book to the second to the third to the fourth, I have this in mind that the people or the characters that I hate are Agatha and Nextasia, and these are the people that the good guys have to wrestle against. Again, another wicked character come up in the name of the Department of Otherworld Affairs gangs. We have Shax Peterson, we have Davidson, we have so many others of them. But in their sorrows, these guys begin to evolve, gradually evolve, with one fighting another, with most especially Anastasia, with one fighting another, and they were more like a foe. There's no smooth relationship between them. Each of them having a past, a dark past, an unforgiving spirit, an issue in the past that they have to resolve. And all of a sudden, the deer just erupt from nowhere, and the deer now looks as if it is the enemy of all of them. So you see it with how the deer emanated, and it keeps spreading fast, taking quite a lot of people, the president, even the birds of the air, and so many others. So enough of my follow up from their sorrows. Let's go into this. Yeah, I need to first of all mention that, of course, yeah, you have to start the book from book one, because in here there are quite a lot of characters mentioned there, and if you've not been carefully following the series, that's why you might get a bit lost in the characterization. So, following on the capture of most of my characters actually in Dear Sorrows. I mean, characters like AC were captured, characters like Sammy was captured, characters like Dorcas, like Jimmy, and so many others were captured. Following on the capture of these characters, I was very eager. I was looking forward to seeing other stories continued in the upcoming The Kind of the Realm. And I would say that I'm not so disappointed, but then I wasn't so satisfied reading The Coin of the Realm, because it still kept me being eager. It left a cliffhanger towards the ending part of the book that got me hungry and at the same time a bit desirous. So new group erupt, and we have it in the name of Tobias, Anastasia, Peterson, Jenny, and the Fair Hope. Before they come together, they're actually stories before the coming together of all of them. I mean, from Peterson to Tobias to Anastasia, a lot of them coming together eventually with the aim of fighting the deer. And again, and another switch, we have this I love to term it. We have the Davis group and we have the Tobias group. The Davids group contains, David, of course, Fisher, Jack, Rowley, Timothy, and like one, they have to unite together to come together as well to fight this deer. Why the whole thing was going on, they find the need to go back to Cepheus Manor. Or first of all, I think Jack was the one who suggested that they should try and contact Kronos. Maybe he might have, a cure to this. Kronos to me is referred to the father time, who have, the key, or who has the knowledge to the past and the future. So from there, they came up with the idea of having to, try and heal Kronos and see if it's able to provide a solution to the problem to the deer. So from here, they had to go and find him his sequel, because with the sequel, he'll be able to come back to life and get resuscitated. So where exactly are they going to find this sequel? Of course, again, Josephus Manor. This a particular place, or a particular building where the whole craziness of the day started from. So while David's group is contemplating on going to Sophia's house, hilariously, or I'll say coincidentally, Tobias' group as well was making plans to go into Sophia's Manor, and David's group got there first before Tobias. When Tobias' group got to the manor, they could sight a car parked in front of the house, and from there, they knew or had an idea that someone basically is inside the house. But the story kept unfolding, and they eventually got to the front of the house. And also, on the other way around, this time I'm gonna have to interwove my review. I'm gonna have to choose it interwovenly. Or the other way around, the deer was also making plans to go into Seflex Manor. Actually, I would have loved to talk more about the deer, the inscription of it, the onset of it. Those guys who now came to become the deer. I mean, people like Marsha, like Sweet Whisper, like the president, I think, and the deer itself. Those guys are making plans also going to Sophia's Manor. There's a way the deer gets information, will I say telepathically, or in a very mysterious manner. So they had an idea that those guys are going to go to Sophia's Manor. Or let me put it this way, I think whenever those guys are making plan to get whatsoever is going to stop the deer, I think the deer always have an idea of going to stop them, of going to thwart their plan, so they can all be warned. In getting to Safiak's manor, where the sense that some people are in there, it was Anastasia who first made an attempt to go into the building. It was Anastasia who first sighted someone there, and the person in sight happens to be David Cracklock, whom she has had an issue with in time past. I mean, more like she believed, David Cracklock was the one who killed her husband. That's what she believed, but I'm not quite sure if that's true or not. Following on from there, when Anastasia sighted David, she was like, "You!" And within the twinkling of an eye, she cast her glamour, and the whole place turned to rage. Once you find a glamour and you have no idea where it's coming from, you tend to defend yourself. So that's how Timothy, David, Jack, and Rolly started defending against Anastasia. And since Anastasia started the rage unplanned, she started the rage without thinking twice. Tobias, Peterson, and the others too had to defend themselves from the glamour and all of that. Oh my goodness, I want to say that I love this section. I love it wholeheartedly. And I love Rolex doing in here. Really had to shame in Jack's head. Friend Jack, the evil woman from the mansion, stop her. And that's how I get to know that, oh yeah, Anastasia is really in for trouble. So Anastasia was quite given that she was quite skilled in glamour using. And the rage of the glamour was getting intense, and the sparkling, the turbulence, the fall, everything was going in text. And I love Rolly's contribution. The fact that he had to took sort net from the cartulary to capture Anastasia, the fact that they had to keep tossing out balls, whatever, to stop her, it was quite very awesome. And I think after a short while of Timothy and David getting to realize that, okay, we need to stop this, the whole fight was stopped. But then Anastasia was not thoroughly satisfied. I mean, right from time from the Fox book series, she's a very naughty character, I'd say. Stylishly wicked, not even stylishly wicked, I mean, thoroughly wicked, and stylishly quite humorous as well, because I cannot find a bit of humor in her doings and her characterization. I mean, the way she reacts with the characters, the way she speaks, the way she behaves. She is the most hilarious character. And if I'm gonna to pick a character that I love so much, it have to be Rolly. That's how Anastasia was stopped. That's how the whole fight died down, and they had to come together and reunite together. I mean, conversation around Anastasia belief of David being the cause of his husband's death. Conversation about Jack's hatred towards Anastasia because she made him suffer from the hands of the Lafayette twins. I remember those crazy twins. And conversation around Anastasia, Otin, Elsie, and Sammy, so many of them actually. It pains Jack, and they're having a hard time trying to forgive one another. However, on the other way around, the deer is coming, inviting them to come be, not minding even if they have a fight or whatever. So the deer are Duke Sammy and Dorcas as a scapegoat for those guys to, be captured. After the whole settlement of the fight, they had to proceed in seeking for the sequel, that's Chronos sequel, and the other guys still had to proceed looking for what they came for. So while they went to the second floor, Anastasia was quite knowledgeable about how Sophia's manor looks like. She directed them that, okay, we want to check the library or check certain places. So they had to leave for another section of the building. When Anastasia was like, no, she was go with them. She had issue with, I think, almost everybody. She called the Fey Devils, she called Rolly Teen, and so many other things. She's quite funny, really. So she was like, she's not gonna leave. She's gonna stay and watch the door together with, I think, one of Peterson's agents. The others went upstairs, and Anastasia and the other agent was down there. Dorcas and Sammy, walk past outside. Lord, but then they are trapped used by the deer to capture them. So Anastasia, without thinking twice, actually think that it is Sammy, and because of the hatred she had for her, Sammy though is David's wife. Because of the hatred that she had for Sammy, she pumped out without even thinking twice and started classing glamour. In my head, I was like, why are you classing glamour towards a deer infected person? That's crazy. I think it took her a while for her to know that, oh, this is not actually Sammy. I think from here, the other agent had to call the attention of the other guys that something is going ASCII here, something is going wrong here. And when they came down, David and Jack was so surprised and shocked and happy as well to find Sammy. Jack was about to go, Olga, but Tobias has to stop them that, oh, I sense this is a trap. This doesn't look easy. Before they know what is happening, the deer is on here. beckoning them to come be. Anastasia Dorcas' face changed to dark sparkling red light, and they started beckoning them to come be. And that it was at that point that realization dawned on them that they had to flee. So the whole place turned to rage. The deer is here trying to capture everyone, and I love the utilization of these people. I love the way they unite together to fight the deer. I mean, with the grenade that Peterson had to shoot, and with the help of the coin that Jack, I think, at that time had only one, the deer was able to wash out of Sammy's first of all, then followed by Dorcas, and with a flash of sparkling blue light, really chucks them into the cartulary, which I so much love actually. I mean, I enjoy reading Rolly's section. It's doing actually, it's quite beautiful. So from here, when the deer realized that their captured agent has been taken, it came with rain, but then the coin that Jax holds still a bit propels them a bit forward, but then they are to flee. If not, the deer is a very powerful, crazy thing that swallow in and engulf in all. So with that, with quite a lot of magics, they had to find their way and escape. But then their escape wasn't even to thorough peace. I mean, afterward, I need to say I was quite intrigued with the reconciliation between Sammy, Dorcas, the fact that they had to come and see their family again. I mean, the fact that David himself had to see Sammy after many years of being separate. It's a lot, really. That part was quite emotional. I mean, it's a blend of fantasy, yeah, with a good number of emotion there, and a bit of time travels, I'd say, if you want to go in that interchronal section. So with that, with the reconciliation and Sammy citing Anastasia again, just like, oh, you wicked devil, together with Dorcas. Anyway, so they had a short fight and words exchange until I think Tobias is the one that always loved controlling Anastasia, or might think Anastasia would always, answer, go by his word because he's a uncle. And yeah, so from there, the other group uniting again, and I mean, we have David, Sammy, Dorcas, Rolly, Timothy. Now they had to go and visit Kronos to give him a sequel and, ask him for solution to the day that has come to take her. Other guys had to stay behind and let them and intensify their search. So in getting to Kronos abode, it was able to be resuscitated, which I was quite excited about, and also why the other thing was happening in the other world. And those guys, I mean, Tobias group are here still debating and contemplating on what needs to be done to eradicate the deer. All of a sudden, they had an alarm blowing somewhere, and they were like, again, how did the deer know that they are here? And I think then they were at the facility. So, the deer was very close. They had nothing they need to do. They had to quickly look for an alternative. And then when they were still contemplating, they were like, can we live without the Audax knowing where we are going to? I mean, we can't live without them. So another person was like, oh no, we have to live without them. And the sister was like, who cares? Let the day have them. I laughed out when I read that. So they had to again switch and move to another place. Luckily for them, Timothy had to leave them a letter, let them know that they've moved from where they are, I think the facility now, and they're going to the realm of the lost. Yeah, so this all the story keep unfolding in a dynamic manner, and I attempt to keep my review spoiler free. I wouldn't love to give much about it. I wouldn't love to give much away. But then I love you to find out what become of the deer, what become of the people, and are they even strong enough to fight the deer? I mean, I understand the fact that they had to, now they have a common cause, though some of them are enemies or hated themselves secretly. They have to come together, and all hands needs to be on deck to fight this crazy, deer that attempt to capture all. I mean, Anastasia is involved because her Benedict has been captured, and that's all she have. That's her son, and so many other people are involved that needs to be regained. I mean, so many other people needs to be regained. Jimmy needs to be regained. So many other people. Nate is there, and all to seek and find, make research, look at history, look at the story of hate, look at the story of the deer. I mean, visit Chronox was able to get a sequel, have him resuscitated. And again, I want you to find out what become of all of these things. Will Saphias even be able to provide answers to the problem? And again, I love the introduction of characters like Mother O'Neill, happens to be another sort of a crazy character in the book. And the introduction of so many other people, Nate, you know, the boatman's, and so many other things. There are so many search that needs to be done. Search for the boatman's art, search for all the coins, and they need to find an answers to where all of these coins are located. They are doing this while the DST persists. They are doing this while the DST goes on. And also the using of the tech by the DOA agent, Jenny, who is quite very skilled at computer, and its boss Peterson. And hilariously enough, I was quite sad that, I wouldn't like to mention name, but some characters was captured again by the deer, which was quite very sad. And that's one of the reasons why I love to tell my review of this book as, as long as the deer persist, as long as the deer continue to exist, mankind and fear alike suffers affliction doom. As long as the deer, persist, as long as the deer keep going from one place to another, as long as the deer is not stopped, human being and fear alike would suffer doom, suffer pain, suffer affliction, agony. And I'm even afraid the thing might even extend to Clarax Abud. And what I'm most afraid of is it not extending to the realm of the tubes, to Rolly's realm, which I'm very, very, considering that I hope it just don't get to that place. So, it's such an amazing book with a lot of thrillers, with a lot of suspense that I wouldn't love to give much away in attempt to give my review spoiler free. But then, there's a turncoat eventually. In lieu of people having to come back together to fight this common cause, there is one who would hold grudges together, who is calm. There is one who is unrelenting, who is evil, who is thoroughly bitter, and who is unforgiving. And the fact that people have to come together to fight a common cause, and there's another person who is thwarting their plans, it's another terrible thing that that the cliffhanger in the book actually got me angry and desirous as to how all of these things is completed in the sixth book that I think is the last book in the series, Deceiver's End. Actually, there's much to say about this book, and I can go on and on and on and on. But then I love Craig Deegan's writing, like I always do. He's an amazing fiction writer. He's an amazing fantasy writer whose writing style to me intrigues me, surprises me as to how he came up with the idea of the story itself and the transitioning, the beauty, the writing style, the use of words. It's quite beautiful. And I'm a huge lover of his works, and I look forward to exploring and knowing what come of the deer, what become of the deer, what become of these captured characters, and so many other people in the upcoming series. I'm a huge lover of Craig Deegan's writing. To me, I feel like his book are worthy of awards and recognition, and that's why I always feel extremely excited whenever I'm picking up any series of what he has written so far. Yeah, so if you would love to get a copy of the Coin of the Realm, I left a link in the description part of this review where you can get a copy directly on Amazon. I also left a link uh to the link of other books. Of Craig Deegan, both for the UX and the UK residents. So it's an amazing book. I love it wholeheartedly. So many things I even need to capture or talk about, but I had to let it go because, of my attempt to keep this review spoiler free and as short as possible as I would like to. Yeah, so this is my short review of The Coin of the Realm by C.A. Deegan. Wonderfully written, beautifully amazing, lovely, and great. Like I mentioned in my introduction section of this review, there are other books in the series. I have Dear Sorrows here. I have Darkest, which is a standalone. I have The Tale of Nocturnal CRACKLOCK, which is another standalone in the series. Then I have book three, Alex and the Mirror Glass, and book two, The Lost and the Departed, and the first book where the whole story started from, Far or Fall. So Craig is an amazing writer. You can see a trunk load of books I've got here. He's an amazing writer. He's an awesome writer. For someone to craft all this long, interesting big book, isn't a shy play, really. Yeah, and I so much admire his creativity. Yeah, so this is where I'm gonna stop my review of The Coin of the Realm by C.A. Deegan. Thank you for watching my review and see you in my next video. Goodbye.